Hello, this is Joe Neville, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install the latest version of Ubuntu 18.04 LTS as a guest VM on Windows 10. Let's jump right into it then. So get over to ubuntu.com and hit the download 18.04 now. Then I'm going to go for the desktop, so we hit this Ubuntu desktop link, then the green button. It asks you to donate some cash. Not going to do that. Thank you for downloading. Okay, I've already downloaded it to save time. So what I will do is I will show you the version of Windows I'm running. So it's Windows 10 version 18.03, which is the latest version, I believe. And here is my VirtualBox. This VirtualBox is also the latest version. It is 5.2.8. Okay. So we hit new. I'm going to call this 4-1, select Linux. Okay, give it a bit more. Create. I'll give it some extra. I'll give it 20 for the hard drive. Create that. Good stuff. Now hit settings. And we'll go to make that shared clipboard and drag and drop. That's fine. Leave that. Right, now onto system. Okay, what do I need? Processor. I'm going to up the processor there. There's a lot of this is a powerful laptop. I've got 8 CPUs on this one, so I'm going to use 2 for this VM. And the next important thing is storage. So go to controller ID. This is where you want to add in the ISO that we've downloaded. So there's the download, which you should have downloaded beforehand. Open that up. Okay, and all the rest of the settings I'm going to leave as default. Sometimes I touch the network, but I'm not going to for this one. Okay, then we just hit start. Full screen that one. Okay, starting up. When there's a pause, I'm going to jump ahead without announcing it to speed the process up so you don't have to watch a blank screen. So here we are, install Ubuntu. Yep. English UK, continue. Okay, now this is interesting. What apps would you like to install to start with? So this is new for this version of Ubuntu. You've got a normal installation, which is web browser, utilities. It's got the office software, games, and media players. Or you can go for this minimal installation, which I really like this idea. So it's not, a lot of the time I end up removing the LibreOffice stuff and the games and Rhythmbox, etc. because I don't use it. I use this VM mainly for Python development, writing code against REST APIs. So I don't need a full Office suite. I've got my Windows 10 underneath, which has got all the Office 365 stuff. So I think this is a great idea. Now, one of the things about this minimal installation, though, is that it's still a big image. So from your download, it's still 1.8 gig. There's not a minimal installation image, but it does speed things up, and obviously it means in the future you won't have to do updates for things that you don't really need, like updates for LibreOffice if you don't use that stuff. So I think this is a great one. This is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to leave these other download updates while installing Ubuntu. Saves time. Yeah, we'll go for that. As I said, I'll skip forward if there's any long pauses or delays. And install third-party software. No, I'm going to leave that for now because I'm not doing any media. Okay, this is currently not detected because it's a VM. Fine, erase disk and install Ubuntu. So that's the one I'm going to go for. Install now. Okay, that's fine. All the partitioning, just going with the defaults. I'm in London, correct. Put in the name. This is just for lab work. Now it's copying the files across. shows you this a few highlights. It's real kind of desktop-y stuff though, music and photos, not the kind of thing that I'll be using this for. So what I'm going to do is I will skip ahead and come back once it is installed. Now the installation is complete. It's saying I need to restart the computer, so I'll hit the restart now button. Please remove the installation media. Fine, hit enter. Okay, so it's rebooting now. Here's the login screen then. And here it is, the latest Ubuntu desktop. Now, if you're coming from the previous LTS version of Ubuntu 16.04, I'm sure things will be looking very different to you. Now, that's because last year, Canonical ditched their own Unity desktop, which 16.04 was running on, and they went with the GNOME desktop. So that's what we have now. And this is the first version of Ubuntu LTS that is running this GNOME desktop. Okay, now this is why we've got this pop-up here which explains some of the differences to you. So you can see here you've got things like Window Switcher, Launcher Apps button, Application menu, Clock and Calendar at the top, System menu, and the Close button. Now this doesn't seem like much, but that's a big change from Unity, that the Close button is now on the window and it's not top left. Okay, so let's skip through this. Next, it's talking about Live Patch. Not concerned with that at the moment. Help improve Ubuntu. Yeah, fine. You can choose to if you want to. You're ready to go. Brilliant. Hit done. Now, let's have a proper look around this then, if you haven't played around with a GNOME desktop. What you've got, this is the minimal install, remember. So what we have is the sidebar here, which doesn't have all of the buttons that you would if you had the full install. I tend to remove these anyway, clean that up. Okay, what you want to do if you want to launch the applications, you've got this button down here, the show applications, bottom left, so we can hit that and there you get your applications that are installed. Now if we close that down, we've got the calendar here is in the middle, so you can hit that and you get notifications come up if you've got software updates, etc. That will appear there. Now this is interesting over here. These are the stats for our network, volume, power. So if you hit that arrow there, you'll get into, it's a quick way of getting into network, user, battery, as I said. Hit the spanner and then you'll go to settings, and there's quite a lot of settings in here now. We can scroll down to details and you'll see, right, 18.04 and we're running 3.28.1. Fine. Close that down. So what else can we do? Well, obviously new OS, you're going to get new backgrounds. Let's have a look at those. Hit the backgrounds. Now it's got the pretty pictures, of course. There's some geometric shapes. Some of these really remind me of Windows kind of photos. Some of them are a bit strange, like this one, which is some water on some planks on some decking by the looks one, and this is my personal favorite. Very, very solemn background there. I call this one Puddle. Not really going to brighten your day, I don't think. If you're logging in, you know, on a rainy Monday morning back into work and you're presented with this, I don't know what that's going to do to your mood. It certainly wouldn't lift mine. Another interesting one that we've got is this one, which is absolutely crazy. I don't know why this is in there or who would pick this one as a background. You can't actually see the icons or anything very well with that, so that's kind of ridiculous, I think. Let's get rid of that. Let's go for the standard one here. Select that. Excellent. Right, so what else is of interest? Well, If you're someone that likes to play around with things and you like to customize it, because one of the criticisms of GNOME in general is that there's not much customization of the setup of the actual desktop. So you can do a few things though. You can change the icon size. You see that top left, you can make them bigger and smaller. You can change the position. I don't know why you'd want to do any of this stuff. Auto hide, I hate things like that. Don't really bother with any of those things. Interesting for networkers like myself is the network section, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You hit the cog there and you get your network setup. You can put in statics, IPv6, and you can security set up your .1x, fine. The other things are all monitor there. You can set up your monitor, change the resolution, and night light. So if you're working at night and you don't want too much, you want to try to prevent eye strain, you can turn on this nightlight feature which you see on a lot of OSs nowadays. So we can turn that on. You can set the time, sunrise to sunset, so that will obviously be using the system clock to work that one out. Okay, fine, set that up. Now, what else would I normally do? Well, a lot of the time, as I've mentioned earlier, I'm working on Python, so we should go over to, because this is quite nice about Ubuntu. If you go, I use the IDE of PyCharm. So if you go over to PyCharm, hit download now. What you get now, you get this message here saying if you're using Ubuntu, you can install PyCharm as a snap. So you don't have to do the standard install. You can use the canonical snaps. So let's give that a go. I'll go for the free version, and it is -community. Classic. And I'll let that download then. If a snap is available for an application you want to install, it is a really convenient way of installing it, a bit like an apt package, because all I had to do was enter this command. I've jumped ahead, and as you can see, it's actually downloaded and installed PyCharm for me. So if I go bottom left, hit that, there you see PyCharm already installed. That's the fresh install of Ubuntu 18.04 then. I've also performed an upgrade from 17.10, the previous version of Ubuntu, to 18.04 using the automated process, and that went fine. Now, if you're running 16.04, the latest information that I've got is that you can't use an auto process to upgrade until the incremental release of 18.04. So 18.04.1 is released in the future. So you won't be able to go from 16.04 straight to 18.04 for a while. But that's it for now. I hope you found that useful. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe. If you've got any suggestions for future videos, please do leave a message in the comments. We're always looking for suggestions for future content and trying to give back to the community. But it's Friday evening. I need to log off. My name's Joe Neville. Thanks for watching and goodbye.